Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Whether you are watching on YouTube or Rumble, whichever one you are watching this on. So, due to some technical difficulties, my planned videos are running a little bit behind. So, I want to talk about the fact that Charlie Kirk is being blamed for a 17-year-old kid running over two 17-year-old girls. Okay, so Charlie Kirk is being blamed for that. Well, first of all, in the Inside Edition video, which I will plan on posting a link in the description to that, he only referred to Charlie Kirk whenever he pulled a pizza prank. So he's claiming that one of those girls, I'm assuming the same one that turned him down, and he's claiming that one of those girls mocked Charlie Kirk's death. Now, coming from someone like this, I do not know how much of that is true. But even if it was true for the sake of argument, that would not justify a pizza prank. That most certainly would not have justified his running them over. Even if that's what he did, even if that was why he did that, or the reason that he gave for doing that. I mean. Okay? So he pulled that pizza prank, supposedly, to get back at them for making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, as he claimed in that Inside Edition video, or rather, they showed a video of him saying that, just before laughing like a maniac, like some kind of evil maniac. Yeah. Now, Charlie Kirk was the reason he gave for that pizza prank. But that does not mean that he was a Charlie Kirk supporter or a Charlie Kirk fan. I think it's more likely that he was exploiting Charlie Kirk's death and using Charlie Kirk as an excuse to pull this prank. To pull that pizza prank. Especially since, even in that clip that Inside Edition showed, he mentioned that he's done it before, and last time the cops got involved. And I believe it's already been mentioned that those girls had a restraining order against him. Well, I mean, one of those girls. So, since they're around the same age, I am assuming that they go to the same school. That's what I'm assuming. Because, they are, I mean, all three of them were around, was 17. So they're around the same age, so they must attend the same school. Which means that he had a personal history with them. Obviously, like he knew them personally, would have had to. Okay, and apparently, he had a history of stalking these girls. Okay, one of those girls. Which is probably why the police got involved last time he put a pizza prank, and he decided to go there and watch. Okay, so he was stalking those. He had a history of stalking one of those girls for months. Okay, now listen. You cannot blame Charlie Kirk for this, because Charlie Kirk was a Christian man. Okay, he would not have approved of this guy running over those two girls. Okay? He would not have wanted that. Furthermore, Charlie Kirk does not have any rhetoric that would encourage violence of any sort, or any hate. Now, some of the things he said have been interpreted as hate. Well, that's common when you speak against a certain narrative. The left always calls you fill-in-the-blank phobic, or whatever the case may be. They basically like you hate them and all kinds of false narratives. I mean, the left is calling Charlie Kirk a Nazi and a fascist and all that stuff. So they probably that puts a bias on people because of some of the stuff that Charlie Kirk has said. They're interpreting that as his rhetoric causing violence, but that's not true. Okay? And if this girl truly had mocked Charlie Kirk's death, or one of those girls, I mean, then Charlie Kirk would not have responded, but he probably would have ignored it. Or at least wouldn't have wanted anything to happen to that girl. Okay? I mean, Charlie Kirk did not take any offense to a South Park video that was making fun of him. So he most certainly wouldn't have taken any offense to any of those other videos that was making fun of his death, that was mocking him, and even justifying it. Charlie Kirk was a huge supporter of freedom of speech. Okay? So, I do not believe that this kid was a Charlie Kirk fan or had any involvement with Charlie Kirk. He was using Charlie Kirk as an excuse to pull some pizza prank on this girl whom he claims mocked Charlie Kirk's death. But I'm skeptical of those claims, for one thing, and even if it was true, it still wouldn't justify his actions. And some people on social media that are on the left are acting like MAGA is ignoring this story. Because these people blindly believe everything negative that they hear about somebody they don't like, without any regardless of how much truth there is. Okay? That's what these people believe. But meanwhile, normal people, we don't let bias interfere with our judgment, or at least we shouldn't. We should go out there and find out the truth, regardless of how we feel about that person, even if we don't personally like that person. We shouldn't buy into everything negative that we hear about that person, without any facts, without any evidence. Okay? Now, the left has more of a history of violence and condoning violence and justifying violence and calling for more violence. They have a history of celebrating violence. In fact, Charlie Kirk was aware of that. And it's my understanding that he made a post about assassination culture on the left back in April. So, and he knew that something was going to happen. He knew that something was going to happen to somebody, and sure enough, it happened to him. Well, my point is this, before I end this video. Just because the guy mentioned Charlie Kirk in a video about a pizza prank does not mean that he was a Charlie Kirk fan. Okay? And it does not mean that Charlie Kirk had any involvement with this. Okay? None of Charlie Kirk's rhetoric had anything to do with violence. Okay? Charlie Kirk would not have condoned any form of violence. He would not have condoned he would not have condoned that pizza prank. And he most certainly would not have condoned those girls being killed, even if one of them had mocked him. Okay? Charlie Kirk would never have condoned that. Well, that's it for this video. Bye.